Hello everyone, welcome to KSR Data Vision YouTube channel. Myself SI Babu. Today I am going to explore you about financial DAX functions. Now, if you see here, so we are starting a playlist with the intention is we have to explore all the financial DAX functions which is presented in the Microsoft official website. So here if you see around 25 plus DAX functions are there. So these financial functions in DAX are used in formulas that perform financial calculations such as net present value and rate of return. These functions are similar to financial functions used in the Microsoft Excel. So it means that whatever the if you are familiar with Microsoft Excel, so the same functions they are replicated in the Power BI desktop in this DAX. So as part of this financial DAX functions, today I am going to explore you about two DAX functions. The two DAX functions are ACCR interest and ACCR interest on maturity. So let's go and see in the official documentation what it is saying. So here, if I go to the official documentation, ACCRINT, so return the accrued interest for a security that pays periodic interest. So here, so it will return the accrued interest for a security, if you are doing any security deposit or bonds, for that it pays periodic interest. So this is the syntax here. If you see, this is the syntax. So issue first interest settlement rate par frequency basis and calculation method. So we will share this link in the video description URL. So kindly go through this. In the same way, if I go to accrued interest maturity, both are same. The difference in this is it will calculate the interest on maturity date. This is the only difference between these two. Fine. Now go back to the Power BI desktop. So here first, before entering into the DAX functions, let's go and see the what data I have. Let me go to the table view. Here if you see, I have a table called bonds table. Let's say so in India or somewhere else, so we are going to do some security deposits, that all we call it as a bonds. Here if you see, let's say this is the bonds table. So in this, when the bond was issued, what is the first interest date, and what is the settlement date, and coupon rate. What is the coupon rate here? So here if you go and see, coupon rate is nothing but the securities annual coupon rate, like interest rate. Okay, then par value, let's see what is par value. Par value is securities par value. Then frequency here, what they are telling, the number of coupon payments per year. For annual frequency it represents 1, for semi-annual it represents 2, for quarterly it represents 4. Okay, fine. Now biases, so biases is nothing but a type of day count basis. Bias is omitted, it is 0. Then so here they mentioned all the things here, please go through this, and followed by maturity date and bond number. What is this bond number? They are mentioned this. Fine. Now let's go and explore the accrued interest. Now here, so let me select a new measure. So let me give the name like DAX name, ACCRINT. So here, let me go to the documentation. Here if you see, here let me go to the example. Here also if you see, so they are hard coded. They are hard coded. Okay, this date and values are. But when I come to the our, if you see in the table view, we have the values. So how we can achieve this? So if you want to pass the multiple values, so let's go with variables. So where the first thing is issue date, first interest date, issue date equal to max of issue date. So here why I'm taking max, so it will consider the, let me show you the syntax. So what it is telling. So here returns the largest numeric value or largest string in a column, or the largest value between the two scalar expressions. So it will return the largest value. If you want, you can use value or values or some other things also. So now here what I'll do, I'll take issue date, then first interest date equal to max of first interest date. Then let me go and see the syntax. Settlement date rate, settlement date, coupon rate equal to max of coupon rate. That's why I named as a C rate. Then where par value frequency. So par value equal to max of par value where frequency equal to max of frequency. Then the last one basis and calculation method. Max of basis and where calculation method equal to. So if you see the official documentation, the calculation method, it will return the logical value. That specify means it's a true or false only. There is no need to give any other value. So for now, let me take true. Fine. Now I'll return it. What is our DAX function name? Accrued interest. So see now issue date. For that I'll call issue date. Again the thing FST. First interest date, settlement date, then rate, C rate, coupon rate, then par value, then frequency, basis, and the last one is calculation method. Close the bracket. Now let's execute this. It is executed perfectly. Fine. Now let me go to the another page. Here already I have a table chart. Here what I am going to do, I'm going to drag bond number. Let me make it to don't summarize. So bond number, then issue date, first interest date, coupon rate, frequency, coupon rate, then par value, then here we'll put settlement value, and let me remove this. So let me change this to, let me uncheck the data hierarchy. Now let's drag this biases, and finally let me drag accrued interest, and first interest date, settlement date. This is not sum of frequency, this is coupon rate, this is par value and biases. Okay, so now it is calculated this one. Now it is calculated accrued interest value. Fine. So how can validate this as a correct number or wrong number? How we can validate? So if you remember in our page one, they mentioned one point. These functions are very similar to financial function that is used in the Microsoft Excel. So now what I'm going to do, let me go to the Excel. So here the same table here available. Let me do the same calculation. Let me do the same calculation. So here accrued interest. So the same thing, issue date, comma, first interest date, comma, settlement date, comma, coupon rate, comma, par value, comma, frequency, basis, then true. So let's execute this. Let me copy and paste it here. Let me increase the font size. Just a minute. So now here if you see, this is accrued interest. Okay, now this is accrued interest. Now 1486.13, 46312.50, 79444442 by 9. So if you see here, now the values are exactly matching. So this is all about accrued interest. Fine. Now what is our next DAX function? Accrued interest on maturity. So now let's go on write accrued interest on maturity. So in the interest of time saving, let me copy and paste this query and let me paste it here. Now I'll change this to maturity. So here if you go and see, we need only four values: issue date, maturity date, rate, par value, and basis. So five values. So issue date is there. So maturity date. So here what we will do, we will take maturity date. So coupon rate, par value required. So settlement date not required. Let me remove this. Par value, frequency not required, or biases. par value biases. So let me remove the frequency. Let me remove the calculation method. Now here, let me remove this. Let me rewrite the accrued interest on maturity measure. So now it is asking issue date, then maturity date. Fine. Now coupon rate. Okay. Now par value. Fine. The last one bias is close the bracket. Now let's execute. Okay. Now let me copy and paste this. So now let me replace this accrued interest on maturity. Okay, now accrued interest with accrued interest on maturity. Fine. Now, so now in the same way, let's go to the our Excel workbook and let's validate accrued interest on maturity. So let me take the same formula. So issue date, comma. Actually, here the formula is wrong. It's not settlement date. It's a maturity date. Then coupon rate, comma, par value, comma, biases. Let's close the bracket and execute this. Now let's make copy and paste the same here. Let me give me some other different color to this for easy identification. Now 26496.35 here. Next 54687, 54687 and 16638, 16638, 50958. 50958 32482. Fine, excellent. So now the values are matching between our Excel workbook and Power BI DAX formulas. So this is all about accrued interest on maturity. So these are the functions rarely used in the real time. So because it's a financial functions, it's very hardly used. It will be useful for only financial type of calculations. So let me recap today what we learned in this video. So today we learned these two DAX functions, accrued interest and accrued interest on maturity. These are the functions which will be used in the financial DAX calculations. I hope you all like this video. Please comment this video. Please subscribe KSR Data Vision YouTube channel. Thank you all for watching this video. We'll meet you in the another interesting video.